Hello and good morning to you. This is Cliff Graves from Train Well Boxing. So, if you're anything like me, a researcher, you will be sick to absolute death of these characters giving you snippets of how to punch fucking hard. And we're talking about instantaneous KO power. They only give you half of it, and then they hold out their hands for you to pay your hard-earned shekels to be relieved of something you could learn in 5 to 10 minutes in a really good boxing club. But let's face it, folks, a lot of people don't want to go and compete in boxing. They want to do the boxing training. So if you are a boxer, probably this ain't for you because you already know it. All the rest, I think I've got something for you. I really, really do. So from a boxer size, using boxing as keeping fit, nothing is more stress releasing than banging up the heavy punch bag and doing it in style, as opposed to thinking you're hitting when you're not, you're just pushing. And we this morning are going to teach you how to do it. We don't even need video to do this. We are going to give you the theory, and then in the new year, we'll give you the actual visual side of it. But if you can get your head round the theory of this, you've got it. In the new year, we're going to give you specific exercises that will enhance your power and enhance the process of what I'm just going to explain to you. The thing with the punch is, it's got to be done in a millisecond. A second is too slow. But I'm coming to that, don't you worry. Let's cut straight to the chase. Although these blend into one, let's break them down into subcategories. It will begin, the kinetic sequencing will always begin in your feet. And then up into your ankles, where the ankles are kind of like sort of transmuting the power, the spiraling power that you've taken, the energy you've taken from the ground, Mother Earth, spiraling it up your legs. So the first stage, write this down, number one, is feet and legs, equaling the propulsion phase. The next phase is hips. Now the hips is where the initial rotation commences. Number three is the blocking on the front foot, which is the break phase. Now here at number 4, the energy is still going out, but you need to use creative visualization to bring it back in to the Dan Tien, which is a point just below your belly button. Because if you creatively visualize, think it going out, you're going to be like the javelin thrower where the rear foot elevates up, negating your power. So once you get to this blocking phase at 3, it's changing the power, the energy, the force, whatever you want to call it, is still transmitting up and out, but you're thinking bringing it back in. So that is what we're talking about at number 4, the energy transfer in and up. Number 5 is the torso and shoulders accelerate, the acceleration phase. Okay, where the shoulders, the torso is still rotating, right? The hips have stopped, the torso is rotating now. There's your elastic recall, and the shoulders follow through, and the power goes out through the, down through the arm, down through the power line, out the fist. But it's that it's that impact, which is the last category. That impact is the snap, is bang, you followed through. You've rotated your shoulders round, right the way round, and you've switched your emphasis more onto the front leg, and you've gone past your opponent's center line. This is for a right, a reverse, a rear punch, slightly over their center line. Your chin is tucked and you followed through, but then on the impact, when you follow, bam, it's that snap back. So let's just go through these more in detail. The feet and the legs. The feet is where it starts, folks. That's where it starts. This, as I say, is done in a millisecond. You can't sort of get your protractor out and start deducing and making calculations and, you know, and all the rest of it. It's in the head, but it's in the head, it's split second. It's like firing a bullet. It's a split second bang. But to have knowledge leads to understanding, and understanding leads to wisdom. And when you break it all down, that's what you understand. And then bam, you get it. So it starts with the feet, pushing off, taking that, this is quite esoteric, but it's taking that energy out through the foot. The foot pivots on the ball of the foot, on the ball of the foot, pivots around, which is shunting up power up your powerful leg muscles like you wouldn't believe. And then it hits the hips. Most fighters adopt a bladed stance. Even in the peekaboo squared off stance, they're still bladed. They're not completely straight on, are they? Because one bump on the chin and they haven't got any balance, have they? So at number 2, your hips begins that initial rotation. This power has come up, this force has come up from your feet and your legs like you wouldn't believe, and now you rotate round with a relaxed body, I might add, right the way round till your hips square off from a bladed like 45-degree angle. Your hips rotate round till they're squared off, and there's the block, there's the break. Much the same as a javelin throwers do with their front leg. The principle is the same. The technique of it does differ, but the principle is the same. And you get that by isometrically internally rotating at your hips. The acetabulum, you internally rotate, but there's no movement. It's like a venerable baseball coach in the States, Eric Cressy, akins it to the cyclist hitting the curb. Well, what happens? You're cycling a bike and you hit the curb, what happens? You stopped abruptly, don't you? There's your breaking of the hips from the internal rotation of the front foot. Okay? The kinetic energy and force is through the roof. Your hips go square, excuse me, your hips square up and are blocked, but that energy is still going and that rotation is still going. And it's at that point you get that thing known as elastic recoil, because your hips have squared off. Your torso is still at a 45-degree angle and you stop, bam! And then what happens when the cyclist hits the curb? What do? They fly over the handlebars, don't they? There's your elastic recoil. There's your bit of your torso coming round. You've utilized that braking situation, which has metaphorically sent you flying over the handlebars. It's that initial, think of that bang, you hit the curb with your cycle, one bang, over you go. It's a jolting movement, which is now from the torso. You understand? You follow it through. The shoulders rotate round, following through. So you've got that power line now going down from the fists, well, from the shoulders. First from the rear shoulder, then to the arm that is punching. The force goes across your upper back, down your arm and into your fist. But here's the kicker. Number 6, the impact, the snap part of it. You followed through, okay? You followed through, so you have now put a lot of your weight onto the front foot. The front foot. And you have gone past your opponent's center line. Just, not right the way down, because you're right the way over past it, because you're gonna, it's almost like a slip, just barely going past their center line, but following through, rotating the shoulders right the way around and following right the way through. And when you got that impact, that back, bang, you bang through and you followed through with the shoulders and everything, and bang is the snap, bang, you come back out of it. That is a simultaneous, instantaneous procedure that should be done in grease lightning speed. In grease lightning speed. Okay, so if you stick with us, we will show you in the new year visuals of it all. Just 1 second. Just 1 second. Give me 2 minutes, folks.
Hello?
Are you there then, are you?
Yeah, I'm just about to go into the car park.
All right, love. Don't bother calling me. Have a good day and I'll speak to you later, all right?
Yeah.
Ta-da. Bye, love.
Bye.
Bye. So I just had to ring the missus. You know, she gets to work about 7:30. Has quite a long journey. You know, I just want to make sure everything's tickety-boo there. So sorry about that. Told you these videos are very, very natural. You won't get any more natural than these videos here because we're honest. We attempt to be honest. So there's your 6 stages, which you will have to do them slowly. Dissect them. Do the first part of it, the rotation of the feet to the squaring off of the hips. Just get that. Forget about your arms. Put your arms down by your side. Forget about what your torso's doing. Just get that. Learn that first bit. Driving off with the hips. Sorry. Driving off with the feet. Drive off with the feet. Pivot off the foot. Get that energy spiraling up your legs. Whip round your hips to they are square out from a bladed stance. Just do that bit first. Just get that. Get that. You'll see that your gluteus maximus, your buttocks muscles, don't half get a good workout. We have some exercises that we want to show you visually in the new year that I'm telling you what will get that first stage, the foot rotating, energy going up the legs into the hips, squaring off and stopping abruptly like you wouldn't believe. Then it's just a natural process of just letting the body do naturally what it wants to do. It wants to fly you over the handlebars. That's what the torso wants to happen, metaphorically speaking. It wants you to fly over those handlebars, the torso rotating round from elastic recoil. It wants to do that, so let it go. It's a slingshot. Let it go. But we're not throwers. We're punching hard. You need to drop your weight down, commonly known in the fight game as sitting down on your punches. Sitting down on your punches. You do that by dipping a little bit in your legs. Just a little bit. An inch and a half, 2 inches. Just a minute bit, but it allows you to. The energy's going out, the force is going out, but you have got to prepare your body for impacts. Because if you're still going up and out and you hit up and out, even with an uppercut, you drop your hips, which we'll deal with a lot more next year. When that impacts, that is when you drop down. The acceleration in your punch will be through the roof if you do this blocking, the braking system. The energy transfer is phenomenal. 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 So yes, it's a kinetic sequencing up. Yes, as far as it gets to the hips, it still continues, but then it's coming in. And you do that by dropping down physically, just a little bit. Less is more. If you go down too far, the energy will leak out and be lost. There's a slight drop down, planting the feet, bang! Following through with the shoulders, letting the power line, the Jack Dempsey power line, flow right the way through and out and in and down. And you get that through creative visualization. And you can only get this speed, you can only get this millisecond speed through relax, 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 impact, tense, back to relax. It's ferociously fast. If you look at these pro boxers, if you look at these pro boxers, it's so fast. It's so incredibly fast. It's untrue. They're not walking through treacle when they're doing it. And this is what I mean. You've got to. We're appealing to the almost non-boxers really here. The boxers. Sorry, I just spilled coffee on my keyboard. Silly muppet. I'm just trying to clean it up as I speak to you, or blot it up, should I say, with some kitchen towel. Do you understand what I'm trying to say to you? It's got to be so fast. And incidentally, speed is power and power is speed. But you have to know the technique. You have to know the techniques. Otherwise, you'll get what is known as energy leaking. And, you know, you might as well try and do some other form of punching. Because even on the street, and I've had confrontations with so-called self-defense instructors, instructoresses, call them what they will, that boxing has no relevance whatsoever for self-defense, or street fighting, as one character called it. Well, excuse me, you can't have been in many confrontations, can you? If you think that, it's just been luck that you have not come against formidable opponents. When we're talking about self-defense, we're not talking about armed defense, somebody coming at you with a machete. The whole ball game changes with that. But certainly, you see, a lot of self-defense proponents, teachers would tell you that there's grades from 1 to 10, threat ranges 1 to 10. 1 being the most least severe, where some jerk that's decided to get out of his car, get out of his pram, because he wants to try and impress his his new girlfriend, he's big and tough, you know what I mean? And who's cut up who on the road, I don't know, but I've had it before. Well, if he starts kicking in your car and stuff like that, well, I don't know, there might be a situation where you just get out and you just give him a quick power slap. And that's enough for them to go scurrying off. But there might be a time when you're ambushed. Pray God that never ever happens to you. It's never happened to me because I've been able to use situational awareness and the art of not be there. But what I'm saying to you is that would be classified if somebody's coming out with machetes as a grade 10, which is very, very serious. But what I'm saying is, from your fence, we're now talking self-defense, people. From your fence, which is a disguised guard, I don't like to say it, a guard for the street, but it's a self-defense guard where you can disguise basically that you're going to preemptively twat this guy very, very, very soon. But the same principles happen if you're getting the opportunity to do that. If it's being given to you on a plate that you can chop a quick reverse punch over and end the threat there and then with one clinical punch, so be it. It could be that off your fence, you've got to go outside their peripheral vision and slap, power slap. And let me tell you something, if that goes across your ear, that's all it could take. With a lot of people, the shock of it is enough for them to think, oh, fuck, I don't want this. I don't want this at all. If they want to continue to fight, then of course you fight on. But the point I'm saying is you carry on and on and on and on and on and on until the threat has ceased and stop. Because in the law, there's two aspects to it. One could be, well, all right, we've proven that you acted in self-defense. That's a given. Members of the jury, we know that Mr. Graves acted in self-defense. But the issue now is, was it proportionate? So if somebody's saying it's a road rage incident, which I don't advocate you get out your car at all. Otherwise, we get situations that happened with that young kid. Remember? And the guy knifed him, pulled out a knife. But I'm talking about a low-key situation. The guy's drunk. The guy's being abusive. The guy's upsetting your girlfriend, your boyfriend, or whatever. He's now beginning to get touchy. You've given him one chance not to do that again. You said, right, that's enough now, all right? No more touchy, okay? Just walk off, all right? Go away. He attempts to go and touchy you again. There is a legit reason to use a power slap straight round the chops, across his ear, puts him out on the ground. He is thinking then twice about continuing. So it has to be proven its self-defense and proportionate, certainly here in the UK. But the whole ethos of this presentation is to say to you, a boxing strike can work. I'm not saying 1,000 times out of 1,000 times it will work, because it might be a 10-stone chap that doesn't really know how to hit hard trying to sucker punch a 6'3", 17.5 stone doorman. The doorman might take it and just absorb it as nothing. Now you've got to deal with a 17.5 stone irate doorman. But we must not be narrow-minded into thinking, oh, boxing's a sport. Yes, but boxing started off as the noble art of self-defense. So if you're telling me a boxer's educated, powerful, preemptive rear strike, in my case a right cross, is not going to put Joe Average down and out that's trying to cause trouble with him, then I think that you want to stop smoking the cannabis and start taking a reality pill. Even in a system, and I say this with the utmost respect, and the reason why I'm going to name this is because of the utmost respect. Lee Morrison and urban combatives teach and have taught a lot of civilians, but a lot of law enforcement personnel and a whole raft of doormen. And from a non-threatening fence, the power slap comes in. But the power slap uses the same mechanics that a boxer would do to throw a left hook, except it's with the palm of the hand. It's exactly the same. There isn't any difference at all. The self-defense instructor teaching finger thrusting like Sykes Fairburn from World War II, gutter fighting, is exactly the same principle as you would see in Wing Chun or Hung Kwan. It's exactly the same. The tiger claw, palm fist, favored by Kung Fu, Shanghai Kung Fu martial arts, is exactly the same as the modern combative striking with it now. There is no difference whatsoever. None. A headbutt is a headbutt. Whether you get a clash of heads in the ring and splits the eye open, or you get it out on the street in a self-defense situation, it is still the same. The Muay Thai elbow, diagonal elbow, is exactly the same as what you would perform it out in the streets as you would in a Muay Thai fight. So we have again qualified that martial arts has its place, as does sport, has its place in self-defense. Self-defense is about 1 to 2% physical stuff. The rest of it is not being there. And if you are there, using situational awareness. So you don't get ambushed. So you do get that taxi cab home safely from the nightclub after 2 o'clock in the morning, for instance. For staying out of the rough houses where you know that they carry knives, where you know that they're tooled up in their cars with all sorts of implements in there, ready to duff up the next unsuspecting group of lads that walks in there just to have a drink out and chat up some women. You stay away from them places, don't you? And you go down a road where it might be a bit more expensive, might not be as wild, but you meet the opposite sex in there. Or the same sex, whatever you fancy. I don't know. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? You use the art of not be there and situational awareness, which cuts it all out. But if it's going to go physical, you use what you can use. Proportionate to the incident, which if you're peace loving, you're not looking for fighting or nothing like that, will probably never come your way. But if it comes your way, consider it to be a 10, a category 10. Serious. This is life or death situation. If you're ambushed and somebody's jumped out on you, you can't use a boxer's punch because they've probably got you round the back of the neck. But there are techniques out there that you learn. All I'm saying is we have to stop this childish nonsense of bickering and being actually quite spiteful with it all. Grow up. Grow up. Grow up, will you? And embrace all, from the traditional martial artist teaching you how they do it to stop somebody strangling them from behind, to the sport combat boxer that's teaching you the proper way to left hook or the proper way to rear cross. Take it away. Take it away and go and then decide no or yes. Don't start critiquing. Don't start critiquing, because all it does is exposes your inexperience. Your inexperience. In closing, consider this. A professional fighter, heavyweight fighter, that has now hung up their gloves and has been training predominantly now in combatives. Do you think their 20 odd years of boxing, going up the ranks from an amateur all through, would stand them in good stead in a self-defense situation or not, be regarded as completely useless, do you think? Answer that one honestly, okay? And therein, it closes off all what some of these frauds basically are serving us decent members of the public up. Okay, enough said. This is Cliff Graves from Trainwell Boxing. You have a great day. Ciao.